Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I am here for your weekly Thursday Facebook Live. We do simple and stepped up stamping on Thursdays, and I'm so happy to be able to share with you today a beautiful, beautiful bundle that you can get absolutely free during sale-a-bration, which begins July 1st and runs through the end of August. So this will be our second sale-a-bration for the year 2022, and that's the way Stampin' Up! Has run for the last 2 years. So we get 2 months of sale-a-bration, and that begins on July the 1st. So one of the items that you can get for free, and I can't show you the brochure because of copyright things, we can't do that until July the 1st. Hopefully you have a copy of it in your hand. If you still need a copy, let me know, and I will do my best to get one in the mail to you. But one of the items that you can get for free is this beautiful set of Designer Series paper with a coordinating stamp set. Now, this is free with a $100 order. Hey, Jackie and Laura and Linda, I'm glad I've got some people gathering with me, and Lisa. I love the fact, and I saw you too, Jeanette, I love the fact that you can get things for free with a $50 order or a $100 order. And of course, you can mix and match those things too. And there's no limit to the number of sale-a-bration items you can earn. So let me show you. This is a beautiful, very classic stamp set. You'll notice when I'm stamping today that the images have like texture in the image. So it looks like like a watercolor print that you're doing. So there's a little bit of texture in the stamp itself, which makes it really, really pretty and gives you some great gradation of color. The coordinating Designer Series paper is absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you the color palette really quick. And I got to get my glass of water so I can keep hydrated while I'm talking. Really pretty palette of colors. So you have Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, which are all bright. Then you have Mossy Meadow, which is a Regal, as well as Rich Razzleberry. Then you have Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky, which are new in colors. Pear Pizzazz, which is a subtle, and Sahara Sand, which is a neutral. So you have every single collection of colors in this paper. So let me show you how beautiful it is. Very classic. This to me is like a summer garden. So the front and back, beautiful, beautiful papers. We typically get what we call an A side and then a B side. Hey, Beverly, I'm glad you're here. And I think both sides are equally beautiful. Now, this is really large. This is that reminds me of a botanical print in some ways. I think these images just beg to be fussy cut. I mean, you could cut these out and go to town with them. This would also be a beautiful framed print. And then the B side, look at that gorgeous Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. What a gorgeous, those are light and dark counterparts of each other. Those are two of our new in colors this year and just exquisite. Now this one reminds me of my grandmother didn't garden, but if she did, this would be like a classic, well, maybe not a grandmother's garden, but an English garden. Look at those beautiful colors and the roses and the irises, and yeah, it's just beautiful. And then here's the B side, really bright. Look at that bold yellow, but see how that yellow, hey Linda, I'm glad you're here with me. See how that ties in to some of these flowers? Really kind of brightens things up. And then last but not least, another one of these kind of English rose garden, and with all the pretty pinks in it. And I love Rich Razzleberry, and that's in there. So that Rich Razzleberry is on the back side. So there's your B side. And then, I thought it was at last but not least, and I've still got 2 more to go. Another one, some of these also this reminds me like of a calico print fabric. Beautiful, beautiful paper. Love, love, love Rich Razzleberry. And look at the other side. Again, like a little calico print sprigged paper. Isn't that pretty? sprigged fabric is what it reminds me of. And then here's like a smaller version of that really bold piece. It has the really large, now this would be very pretty as a background. Again, you could fussy cut these and just have a lot of fun with it. And then a really soft, kind of a soft, dusty pink. So this is the papers, which typically, you know, a designer series paper like this would be what, $11.50 I think they run now. And so that you get absolutely free. And then you also get this beautiful stamp set. So let's see what we can make with these today for some simple stamping. And then we're going to step it up a little bit. Now, I have my in-color markers. I do like to concentrate when I'm doing my simple stamping presentations. I like to concentrate on what a new stamper could use. And this is actually, even though this is a $100 bundle, well, it's free with a $100 order. $100 would get you a lot of great things to get started with stamping, where you'd have blocks, you could get adhesive, you could get some scissors, you could get a greeting stamp set because this doesn't have any greetings. You could get your little silicone mat, you could get some markers, some inks. You get a lot of things for $100, and then you get the free paper and the free stamps. So let me get one more thing, is a scrub. Make sure that my stamp is clean. So I wanted to do what we would call a multicolored stamped image. So this is 4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to ink up my flower. Now I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do 2. Yeah, I'm going to do 2. My stepped up is going to have a die cut. So, but I'm going to stamp them at the same time, and that will just kind of expedite my process. Now, the only 2 colors I'm going to use for this flower, well, maybe I could use that third one, come to think of it. I'm going to use my in-color markers, and whenever I'm coloring with several inks, I like to start with the light color first. If I get out of the lines, when I go over the flower with the darker color, it'll just kind of obliterate that. So I always start with the lighter color first, and then I am going to go in with this darker shade. I meant to get the brush tip. This shows you the brush tip, and this shows you the fine tip for writing, but I wasn't really paying attention too well. I'm just going to put a little bit in the center. Now notice that when you are doing this method and you're using your Stampin' Write markers, this is not blends. You can't put your blends directly on a rubber stamp like this. But you can do this with your photopolymer as well as with your red rubber stamps, although I feel that it's easier with the red rubber than it is with the photopolymer. But you want to kind of paint your stamp with your brush tip, and you want to use the side. If you'll notice the technique I'm using here, I'm very deliberately using the side of my brush, and that is so that I maintain the integrity of the tip. Now, and I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and this might have dried just a wee bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to huff on it. That just means I'm breathing all over it. And then I'm going to just place it like so. Now let's see how that came out with the 2 shades. Oh, I like it. So that is how you get a, hey Betty, I'm glad you're here. That's how you get 2 colors. Now, this is going to be my stepped up, but I'm going to go ahead and take care of it while I have my stamps out. And again, this is just a beautiful, beautiful stamped image. And although the paper has Mossy Meadow in it, Parakeet Party goes really, really well with Mossy Meadow. So I thought I would just kind of keep it simple and use my in-color markers. And you can feel when you are, when you're using your markers on this, you can feel the kind of textured, the textured part of the red rubber. And I think it's a brilliant way that they've manufactured this so that you have some really cool, very realistic looking flowers. And as you can see, you know, this really, I'm not a big coloring in person, largely because I don't have a lot of patience. In addition to not having a lot of patience, my attention span is, you know, about the size of a gnat. So this really just goes very quickly for me, and you get a beautiful, beautiful effect. It's actually a technique, technically. So it is called a multicolored stamped image. It's one of the things I learned when I first started stamping. Because, you know, markers, you can get all 5 of these in-color markers for $15. So, again, super affordable and great way to not only start stamping, but keep stamping. So that is going to be my stepped up version, stepping it up with a die cut. And I just kind of had that die cut sitting there on my table, so I thought, okay, I'll use that today. Okay, let's see where we are going to go next. I am going to add my greeting, and I decided to reach for something. Because these are really classic images, I wanted to have a classic font. Go-To Greetings is in our annual catalog, and it's $24 stamp set. Again, it's a red rubber. And you get Happy Birthday, Thinking of You, Just a Note, and Thank You in 3 different fonts. So four different greetings in 3 different fonts. So one that's a little bit more casual, one that's a little bit more formal, and then one that's really formal. So I actually was going to use the thank you in the more casual, partly because I wanted a really small one. And again, tying in with Stampin' Up's challenge each month. So the Simple Stamping Challenge this month for June, and we have one more week of June, is Stamps Ink paper and Designer Series paper with a thank you message. So I am using a little bit of Starry Sky, which is the darker counterpart. And I think that's coming along very nicely. Now let's go ahead and do this while I have it out. And I'm not even, you know, I could probably just put a little flagged piece of cardstock there, but I'm going to keep it super simple. Even with my stepped up, I'm going to step it up with one die cut, step it up with a little bit of ribbon, and a couple of little embellishments, and that is going to be that. See how nice? I like that. I like it a lot. I don't know. Maybe I want to put that, maybe I want to put a piece of paper over that. We'll see. Okay, I opted to go with Starry Sky, even though this has Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis, but I wanted that bold, I wanted that really bold contrast. And grab a bone folder. I never seem to have a bone folder over here. So what I'm going to do is, this is a top fold, and I have taken a piece of the paper and I've cut it at 3 by 4, and then I cut another little, I just turn the paper over to give a little accent piece like so. And I don't even have my computer in front of me where I can see comments, but let's see. Let's see. I think that's going to be a little bit too much. I think I need to bring that down like so. And yeah, this is what happens. See, maybe that's even better. Look at there. That's what I was looking for. I needed a little bit of contrast there. Okay, let's see what we can do. This needs something. Definitely needs something. I think I'm going to have to put a piece of cardstock around this and around this. Let me grab a little bit of Mossy Meadow cardstock and my trimmer. Now y'all know my secret. Most of the time I design on camera, which which means I have a little bit of an idea before I start, but you know, that's kind of about all I have is just an idea. So this is 2 3/4 by 4, and I am going to put just a tiny layer around it, and I'm going to go with 2 7/8 because I'm going to do what I call a micro layer by 4 1/8. So just a tiny little bit of a frame, because I'm looking for a bit of contrast. See, that little tiny bit of frame is just going to help my piece stand out. And maybe I don't even need that. I think that's part of it, is it's too much there. And then, no, I think we're going to use that. Okay, so that is going to be my Stamps, Ink, and Paper card with a little bit of Designer Series paper and a thank you greeting. And I am going to come in here and I'm going to add some Wink of Stella. Now this, I will say, this doesn't show up very well on camera. Many of you watching, in fact, probably most of you watching, have Wink of Stella in your arsenal. It is, again, something every stamper should have. Brand new stampers and avid stampers and everybody in between. It always reminds me of using mascara. It's just such a special little wand. Now, you know, as much as I love that paper, let's just see. Oh, you know, I think I like that better. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I think I had too much color going on. And, you know, I was talking with Jeanette's on here with me today, and she's one of my studio helpers. And we were actually just talking earlier this week about how it's really important that your eye has somewhere to land on a design. Otherwise, you just have, you know, color, and you can't find where, you can't find rest for your eye. It's actually really important, even when you garden. I used to garden a lot more when I was younger, and for various reasons, largely the heat, and just having more trouble getting up and down from the soil. But, you know, one of the marks of a good garden is having, you know, some like punctuation marks, some places where your eye can land and rest. Really, really important. So, I mean, that's just super simple. Really simple. But I like it a lot. So let me grab, oh, they're right, I have a brand new sheet of dimensionals. Yeah, I like the green side too. Jeanette, I think that, I don't know, I guess with this design, it really needed to just have that softer green. And maybe because I already have a lot of color, a lot of the Starry Sky and the Orchid Oasis in my stamped image, that maybe it was just a little bit too much of a good thing. But I like that a lot. Now I do have, let's see if I can lay my hand to them. I usually have little white panels that I cut like a whole lot of them at once so that I have them ready. Grab, here they are. Left them over at my design center. So what I know what I was gonna, okay, that's on the next one. Okay, I'm already thinking stepped up. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I am going to just take this flower head here, and I'm going to go back over it just a little bit more with my Orchid Oasis marker, and I'm just going to put just a little hint of flower down here at the bottom so that when you open my card, it would actually look pretty at the top or the bottom, but I'm going to leave it right there so that you have just a nice little piece on the inside. So let's see what Betty's saying. You're going to order the supplies for the 4D effect. See, I'm having to read it on my camera. On my phone, I don't have my computer in front of me, so I can't really see. I can see like a part of a message. So I apologize. I will come back when I'm finished, and I will answer all of the comments. So there's my simple. I know it's a very classic note card, be a great gift. Obviously a very nice thank you, but also a great gift to send somebody. So let's see how we're going to get on with this one and what we're going to do, because I have a feeling that we might do much of the same. Yeah, we just don't need that. It's too much color. Now this, if I'm going to do a frame around this, let me grab my ruler. And we're going to do a couple of things to step this up. We've already done a die cut. Now let's do 2 3/4 by 4 on the mossy meadow. Here we go. 2 3/4. I think I just saw something that's going to be just exactly what I need by 4. I think that might be the way I want to do my greeting. So let's see how that comes. Okay, so this is going to go here, but before I do that, oh yeah, that's a really nice frame. See how that kind of just brings it all together? Although having said that, now that I've got this darker color under me, I could have gone with the Orchid Oasis. Let me grab Orchid Oasis and just see. I appreciate your patience with me today while my brain is just kind of going gaga with all these gorgeous colors. Like I said, this is the first time I've used this stamp set and paper. So maybe if we go with the lighter, oh yeah, that's what I should have done here too. C'est-la-vie. Okay, I like that a lot. Now let's see what happens there. No, we're still gonna go with that. But before we do that, I thought what would be really fun is to take a little bit of this Orchid Oasis, and let's just take the blending brush and let's just see if we can do a little bit of wash around this whole flower thing and make almost like a really pale version of Orchid Oasis as a background. And look how, because I'm using the die cut, you see how that ink is settling right into those stitches? And that I like a lot. This is going to make this really soft and muted. And, oh, I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, now, something I thought I could try is if, that would be a really tight fit. Let's see if I can get it on there. I might need to make a larger piece, but I thought we would try this because I'm not sure that I like that thank you there. So let's see. Because that's the fun of stamping, is playing. What do we think? I like that. I like it a lot. That is what we're going to do. And I think I'm just going to trim the end. Again, kind of keeping it pretty simple. Even though we're stepping up, we're still going to keep it really simple. So let's just go like that. And then, oh, I like that better. I like that much better. And then that's going to go there. Oh, that's, I like that Orchid Oasis with all of that mossy meadow. That's a nice color combo. Now, what else did I have here? I had a couple of other things I was going to step up with. I have a little bit of this, which I'm definitely going to use. And let's see. I think I have some of the new, if I can lay my hand to them. Oh, actually, no. The new in color dots, those I think are going to be perfect. So this is coming together really nicely. I'm happy with this. And like I said, I apologize that I don't have my what do you call it? My computer in front of me, so I can't really respond to comments and such. Hopefully I'm not missing anything that's like a major design suggestion that I want to use, but I think this is really going to come out nicely. So what I'm going to do is, and you know, this was just one of those die cuts that was lying on my table. I had cut it for something else and didn't use it. I think sometimes that's some of our best. Oh, I was going to put this here. Okay, let me show you my little trick here. So, my daisy punch, I have this works with the medium or the large daisy punch. So I want to run this ribbon all the way around here, which would have been fine with my top fold card. This is a top fold, but this one is a side fold. So I actually am going to create a little notch right there. Now you want to be mindful that you don't get too far in there because it'll start cutting another piece over here, which I don't want. So I'm going to pull it way down and just punch a little notch right there. And that gives me the perfect spot to run my ribbon right through there. And that is going to be just what I'm looking for, because I wanted to run this right around the, see that? It's going to be very pretty. These are not my ribbon scissors, but I think they're going to work for me. Now I do want this to lay flat, so I don't really want it to be twisted. And my top tip for you when you are tying a bow like this, now this works only if your ribbon is fairly thin, is I like to actually tie this into a knot and then tie my bow, because then I'm not worried about how tight it is, because I've already got my tightness so that it's going to stay in place. Now I can come back in here and tie my little bow, and that is going to be just right. And then I'm going to take my little stamped image. My bow's a little bit wonky. I might have to come over that with a glue dot. Yeah, although I think it's kind of coming together now. Oh, look how cute. Oh, I love this. I'm so happy with this. You know, if I'm happy with a card, then I'm happy to send it or to give it to somebody. And I find that if I'm not happy with it, yeah, then I need to pull it apart and put the pieces in my scrap pile, because you know, it's just paper. We have more paper. We can buy more paper. So let's see. We have stepped this up by adding some ribbon. We stepped it up by adding a die cut, and also by doing some sponged ink right there. What do we think? I like that. I think I'm going to do that. We also added wink of Stella, although we added wink, no, I haven't even added it on this one. I added it on the other one. I really love the way when you sponge on, or you use your blending brush to blend on this Orchid Oasis, it makes a really, really pretty background. So let's come along here and add a little bit of adhesive, and I think that is going to be just the ticket. And my finishing touch is going to be a couple of these. Now there's one way over here. I don't know how that happened, but we'll, oh yes, aren't those so pretty? I'm gonna add these little tiny ones. And because these are in kind of ombre, where'd it go? These are ombre, so that actually works really well because I have a lot of different shades of Orchid Oasis on this card. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have simple and stepped up. Here's my simple, here's my stepped up. I really should put this on Orchid Oasis just to kind of, but it's okay. I think the fact that this Mossy Meadow kind of blends in a little bit more than I would like it to, but I'm actually really happy. So, okay, let me see if I can check a few messages really quick here. Carol, I haven't seen you here, so welcome, welcome, and I'm glad you like my cards today. And Betty, I'm glad you like the ribbon notch. That is my top tip for adding ribbon when you have a side fold card. I am going to put a little, that's another little tip. Let me grab a glue dot. Let's So anytime your ribbon is a little bit wonky and not going the direction that you want, if you just take a mini glue dot, and I'm going to just roll this little guy because it's bigger than I need it to be. I'm going to roll it with my scissors because my take your pick tool is somewhere else. And that is going to go right underneath the knot. And then when I press it, it helps hold it so it doesn't spin around. Now you can even add glue dots to your ribbon tails, but honestly, I think it's okay just the way it is. So that is it for today. Simple and stepped up stamping. I would honestly be very proud to give either of these cards, to send either one to friends, family, team, customers, anybody at all. So just to recap, we used the go-to greetings from the annual catalog. You get 4 sets of greetings in 3 different fonts for $24. And I love the different sizes and the kind of increasing elegance, where you can get very elegant to very simple to and they're all very classic. I also used Wonderful World, which is a stamp set you can earn for free during sale-a-bration, which begins July the 1st. And with that free stamp set, you also get this free paper. So it comes as a bundle, as a stamp set and paper bundle. And this is free with a $100 order, and that begins July the 1st. Make sure you shop at shopwithcandy.com. That is my online store. If you ever have questions about your order or you would prefer me to just place it for you, you can just message me at sweetstamper.com. You'll see a message me, and I would be happy to help you out with that. If you're a brand new stamper, this is a perfect way for you to jump into the wonderful world of stamping, and really to do so in such a way that you save quite a bit of money, because you get this whole set of paper for free and a gorgeous stamp set for free. And you know, although a lot of this reminds me of summer garden flowers, I'm thinking this rose in red or pink, or then that's any time of year. Irises, these are classic, very classic. I haven't even got to use these yet, the leaves. So anyway, I could rabbit on, but I need to love you and leave you. Thanks again for tuning in. I will be back here on Tuesday for another Facebook Live demonstration for you. If you're watching from YouTube, I would appreciate a thumbs up ever so much. And if you would subscribe to my channel, that helps me. If you're here on Facebook, be sure to like my page, and then you'll get notifications of when I'm going live. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care, and God bless.